I think what I'm most thankful for is an endless supply of horror movies to get through a horrible year. And I'm back. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving and people's holiday preparations, such as they are already underway. I had thought to make a video recommending a handful of Thanksgiving-themed horror movies, because whether you realize it or not, there actually is such a genre. Unfortunately, life has a way of getting in the way. I've been stupid busy lately, and it just didn't happen. Fortunately, HorrorPack has saved my ass again. They've given me something to make a video about. This month's horror packs have arrived. So I'm going to open up these boxes. We're going to look through, see what came in the November 2020 DVD and Blu-ray horror packs. As usual, these are unopened. All I've done is put a piece of gaffer tape over the label so you don't see where I live. We're going to open them up here on camera and we're going to see what happens. So let's get right into it. First pack. And pack number 2. As you're probably aware, if you've watched some of these videos before, and if you haven't, what's wrong with you? You should subscribe and watch all of my videos. The way I do this is I go through these, I don't peek inside to see what there is. I open them up live to camera, so I'm as surprised as you are. I go through and if I recognize them, I talk about them. If I don't, we sort of try to figure out what they are. Let's get started. Let's start with this one first. Judging by the end, it looks like the DVD pack. And the first film is Devil's Whisper. Faith is not enough. The back says, 15-year-old Alejandro Duran aspires to one day be a Catholic priest, but when Alex discovers a mysterious box, he unwittingly unleashes a demonic spirit hell-bent on possessing him. Alex must find a way to defeat this ancient demon, which has been tormenting children since the dawn of man, before it destroys him and everyone he loves. Demon possession story, a film that I have not seen. Sounds right up my alley, though. I always have enjoyed a demonic possession sort of a story. I think they're interesting. So that's Devil's Whisper. It says inspired by a true story. I always kind of hate when horror movies say that, because even when they're inspired by an allegedly true story, they're never really inspired by a true story. Okay, I take that back. There are some horror movies genuinely inspired by a true story, but not the demonic possessions, supernatural, ghosts and demons. Those ones are not really inspired by true stories. So the marketing bothers me, but the film sounds interesting. Next up, Shortwave. A modern and unrelentingly tense psychological sci-fi thriller based on a theory of the origins of shortwave radio frequencies. Shortwave is an unnerving reminder that some stones are best left unturned. I know absolutely nothing about this film. I do have something of an interest in radio technology, but I have no idea where it goes with it, so this will be a surprise for me. I'm sort of looking forward to seeing what it has to offer. Next up, Dark House. It says it includes 2 bonus movies. So let's see. We have Dark House, Grave Secrets, The Legacy of Hilltop Drive, and Empty Rooms, all in one package. So that's extra value. I'm used to getting, one movie on each DVD, which is already a good value with HorrorPack. This one comes with 2 bonuses, so hey, bonus. The description on the back of the main movie, Dark House, says, a real estate agent finds himself trapped in a home with a squatter. When he tries to get her to leave, she tells him that she can't, and neither can he. They aren't going anywhere unless they can conquer their fear and figure out what haunts the dark house. Haunted house story, perhaps? worth a look. And for the bonus films, the description for Grave Secrets says, Gene and Shag Williams have just moved into a newly built home. They're the only people who have ever lived there, but strangely it seems someone or something has already staked a claim on the property. The Williamses are about to learn that their home sweet home isn't quite as sweet as they once thought. Another haunted house story, it sounds like. And empty rooms, the description says. Hoping to improve their lives by moving house, Maddie is bewildered when her autistic son Jonah's behavior completely changes. His doctor believes that Jonah's violent outbursts are stress-related as a result of the move, but when Maddie discovers his drawings of a horrifying naked man, she realizes that terror is within the house itself. So it seems like these are all haunted house, or possessed house, or otherwise supernatural house sorts of stories. I always seem to enjoy those kinds of stories. I've been pretty happy with the HorrorPack films in general so far, although there have been a couple of duds, but with something like this, you gotta figure at least one of the three has to be good, so very good value here. And last out of the DVD pack, The Odds. What are you willing to lose for $1 million? It says on the back, a young woman enters a warehouse-type facility. Another man enters the room and sits at a table opposite her. We learn that she has entered a game, and the man is the facilitator of the game. She's competing against unseen players in distant locations, the winner to receive $1 million. To win, she must have a high threshold for pain, as she is subjected to a different torture technique each round. The facilitator is in communication with the game leaders through a Bluetooth earpiece. Once 3 players drop out, each round is over. We learn that the final round involves a game of Russian roulette, and once you reach that round, there's no backing out. This ultimately leads her to question herself, her motivations, the man across from her, and even the game itself. This is not a super original story, and I'm unfamiliar with the film, but I've always kind of liked the premise of somebody playing a game for a large sum of money, $1 million, get out of debt, remake your life, right? And the question of what people would do in order to achieve the $1 million, or the pay off the house, or whatever their goal is. It's always an interesting question, just how far would people go? I actually do some Russian roulette themed work in my Magic Act as well, which has absolutely nothing to do with this film except for that overall premise of what would people do to win a prize, or in my case, what would I do to put on a show, I guess, because I don't win a prize, whatever. In any case, it's an interesting premise, if not entirely original, and I'm looking forward to watching it. So there's our 4 DVDs from the DVD pack, none of which I've actually seen, which is excellent. Not only do I not have these in my collection, I haven't even seen any of them, so I'm looking forward to digging in and seeing which ones I like. And that brings us to the other pack I've gotten, which is the Blu-ray pack. In every Blu-ray pack, there is an exclusive. I'm going to peek just at the very edge, not looking at the titles, to see where the exclusive is, so I can reveal that one last, just because it would be anticlimactic to reveal that one somewhere in the middle. And there it is. I did not look at the titles. I don't know what the films are. So let's go through and see what the Blu-rays are. Alright, first up we have Dead Ant, which reminds me of my favorite joke about the Pink Panther, and if you don't know it, you're missing out. Okay, from the description on the back, it looks like there's a sort of washed-up 80s band traveling on a road trip, and they end up fighting what appear to be giant ants. I've always loved monster movies, and in particular, giant insects have always had a sort of special place in my heart, so I'm very much looking forward to trying Dead Ant. And Blu-ray number 2, we have The Conjuring. This is the sort of evil spirit film that has launched an entire franchise of other films, including Annabelle and The Nun. I received a copy of Annabelle, which is a sequel to this, in a previous month's horror pack. I believe that was the October one, or maybe the September one. I'd have to go back to figure out which month it was. I do already have a DVD copy of The Conjuring. I do not yet have a Blu-ray. And that was the same situation I found myself in with Annabelle. I had the DVD but not the Blu-ray. In that previous video, when I got Annabelle out of the horror pack, I mentioned that as much as I dislike the Warrens, who these movies are based on, because quite frankly they were frauds, the movies themselves are good anyway, and that's how I feel about this one as well. So even though I already have a DVD copy, the Blu-ray is a nice upgrade, and it's a good film worth watching, so a nice inclusion to the pack. Alright, and number 3 we have Flatliners. This one I have heard of, but I've not seen. It stars Ellen Page. As I understand it, this movie is about people who deliberately try to bring themselves to the brink of death, either as an experiment or thrill-seeking or something along those lines. And because it's a horror movie, things go wrong. I don't know exactly what goes wrong. I'm not sure if this is meant to be supernatural, but it's an interesting idea, and I'm looking forward to giving it a watch. And that brings us to the last one, which should be the exclusive, and it is. This is exclusive Blu-ray number 53 from HorrorPack, and it is Bloodline. Terror Has Awakened. The description on the back says, seminary student Brett Ethos falls away from the church and his faith only to find out that his bloodline is sought by real evil. On a trip with friends and an old flame, he goes to explore a cabin shrouded in mystery and legend. There he discovers the true nature of his heritage, fatal temptation or triumphant redemption. His life and the lives of his friends hang in the balance. Now, I have really no idea what the evil in this film is. I've always liked a good battle between good and evil kind of a story. I really know nothing else about it. I have liked the exclusives in general so far, so I'm looking forward to giving this one a try as well. Oh, and that does it. 8 more movies for my collection, or actually 10 because the one had the bonus films. And of those, only one of them did I already have a copy. That was The Conjuring, and my copy was a DVD, and this is a Blu-ray, so that's an upgrade. Well, I'm a few months in now, and I have to say I have not yet been disappointed by any of the monthly horror pack offerings on either the DVD side or the Blu-ray side. So I guess, now that we think about it, that gives me just one more thing to be thankful for. And this year, of course, a lot of people are quite rightly upset that they will be unable to spend Thanksgiving gathered together with their friends and family. I suppose it's worth looking for a silver lining, and if we do, time alone means more time to watch horror movies. Always look on the bright side, even when it's on the dark side. So until next time, have a happy Thanksgiving, take care, and stay scared.